Okay. Excuse me. Cool. Salutations. Peace to the primes. Excuse me. 747 361 degrees. Pardon me. I don't know what happened last broadcast. I think they kicked me off or something like that. All right. Thank you for everybody that's going to come in the video. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go back and do some invites and some shares. Shout out to the family. Peace to you and yours. Yeah, I don't know what happened last broadcast. It's weird. It's all good. It's all good. I want to keep today basic, and I want to do something that I really haven't got the chance to do that much because it's been a lot going on. Thank you. So um it's a book that everyone should have, which is the 141 Introduction to Magic and Divination. Everyone should have this book, especially if you follow the message that I share with you. You should have this book. What I want to do is I want to read from this book today. And this is called the 141 Introduction to Magic and Divination. I could put the book on the screen a little bit, but yeah, I can put, let me see. I can put the book on the screen so you can see the book as well. All right. So we'll figure that out as we go along. All right. Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go along. But what I plan on doing is just reading from this book just to connect with everyone and catch everybody up with a little bit of information. All right. So I guess I'll do some shares and some invites as well to get the party started. What's up? Who in here? State your name. Everybody in the YouTube, everybody in the Facebook. What's up? What's up? What's up? Ucha. That means salutations. Ucha. And peace to the primes. To the primes. Alrighty. Ucha and peace to the primes, Joe. Thank you for everybody throwing the hearts up and the loves across the universe. Thank you. All right, so again, I'm going to be reading from this book called The 141 Introduction to Magic and Divination. All right, I'm going to share a little bit of information from it, and I just want to read from it as well. Shout out to Ramona. I see you, Ramona, Sister Ramona. Peace to Brother Anku. I see you, Brother Anku, as well. Peace to Sister LaUnc. I see you in the YouTube as well. Hey, family. Hey. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Um, Give me 2 more seconds. What's up? Who in here? Give me 2 more seconds to set it up. And then we'll begin. What's up? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling today? I did my best to come on here a little bit early today. I know it's Sunday. I want y'all to have a good week. You know what I'm saying? So I decided to come on a little bit early and just tap in and connect up. Okay. So like I was saying, this book right here is called The 141 Introduction to Magic and Divination. And when people ask me about the Messiah Code, one of the first books that I lead them to is this book right here. I mean, it's a couple other books that you can read as well, which is the beginner's manual, and I got other books like the Book of Wraith that I wrote. All right, all of these have a significant purpose in decoding what is considered to be the mainframe consciousness. All right, now we don't live in the age of Pisces any longer. We have came out of the age of Pisces. We have come into the age of what is considered to be information. All right. And that's something that I want people to understand in regards to the codex and the information that is displayed. You know, in the new age of information, you actually don't have zodiac signs. Okay. You have what is considered to be ranks, and each rank has a designation from the number that you came in the world with. Peace to I am Jesus Christ. I see you in the building. Thank you for your presence. I appreciate it. Okay. Um, so that's something that people got to understand as well. Okay, but it's a couple things I want to read. Thank you, everybody watching YouTube and Facebook. Thank you. There's a couple things I want to read from this book, which is called the 141 Introduction to Magic and Divination. Okay, so now you might ask me, why would I be talking about magic in this case? All right, so if you want to deal with magic, it's 5 forms of magic that we talk about here in what is considered to be the codex. All right, we talk about black magic, white magic. You can put whatever one first: black magic, white magic, black magic. Whatever one first you want, you can choose. All right. Then you got divination, and then you got sorcery, and then at the last one you got love. But love is the most powerful of all magics. And to bind every magic, you need love in order to do it. All right, because it sits at the key principle of all magic. Okay, so that's something I wanted to share with you as well. But you know, in this book called the 141 Introduction to Magic and Divination, thank you for everybody giving me the likes on the. Thank you, I appreciate it. And magic and divination. Thank you for everybody giving me the likes. My fault. My fault. Everybody giving me the shares. I appreciate it. I see y'all. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, if you want, we all gonna read a little bit. I'm gonna read something from this, and I'm gonna build on the science. All right, I'm gonna build on the science a little bit and share a little bit of this information with you. One time to blow your mind. All right. So let me see if I can. Okay, let me say something as well about this image before I move forward. This image is very important. All right. This image, that image right there is very, very, very significant. All right. So, like I said, in the new age of information, you know, all the zodiac signs literally went out the door. They are still valid, meaning that the energies are influential. Okay. Now the zodiac, I don't want you to think that I follow the zodiac like in reference to saying like it is the premise of thought that I run by. No, it is a influence. The zoology or the zodiac, they actually represent totems of spirituality that people connect with when it comes to the canopy of thought that you consider to be constellations. But these are nothing but dots, and dots are thoughts. And you literally connect the dots to create an image, and that image becomes what is considered to be a totem. All right. So, but that totem literally has an influence. It doesn't say who you are as a person. You can choose whatever you want to be as a god or a goddess. Okay, that's something I want everyone to know. But in the new age of information, we actually came into what is considered to be the 13th house. All right, the 13th house. Now, at times, people consider to be Ophiuchus to be the 13th house, the serpent catcher. All right. And it being 13 zodiac signs, considering that it's 13 moons. All right. But 13 is this sacred number because 13 represents the cornerstone of awareness. Remember that. Now, this image right here that you see, which is the Messiah, if you ever ask me, I'm gonna tell you over and over again, the Messiah has returned. If you want me to tell you, say it however you want to say it. I don't want to say Jesus Christ because that's not my move. You know, Jesus was something that was given to us by Roman theology, and so was Christ. It was given to us by Roman theology. So I really don't follow that, but what I do follow is the principles. I really don't hate on nobody's religious precept. I don't hate on nobody's spirituality. The only thing is the only thing I gravitate towards is the principles. All right. So that's the common denominator between all spiritualities. It's the principles that guard these things and make them whole. And you don't infringe upon anyone's rights or liberties anyway of any culture. All right. So or any spirituality. You have a form of respect. So that's why I don't want to disrespect the idea of calling the Messiah Jesus because it's many names that they call the Messiah. It has been many expressions of what the Messiah is. Okay, so yeah. But what I want to do right now is shout out to I knew you was in here. I knew you was in here. Shout out to my 1221s. I see you in here. Messiah Cole All Star. Thank you. Appreciate the support. But like I said, you good? All right. So like I was saying, what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna put something in the comment section, and I'm gonna put something from the book. Just something that I'm reading. I'm gonna put it in a book, and then I'm gonna read it off, and I'm gonna break some of this information down to you. All right. So a lot of times I go over the 131, but what I want to do today is I want to go over portions of this 141 book and break down what it is, what it represents. All right. So let me put this in there. I'm gonna put a couple verses, and then we're gonna build off those verses and so forth. All right. I'll put from 1 to 10. Excuse me. And let's see. It should go. It should work. It should work where I can put the comment in the comment section, and everyone can have it. All right. Let me see. Bang. It might work. It might work. Let me see. I'm trying to paste it in there right now. All right. Yeah, that's cool. Bang. Yeah. All right. That's cool. I think it worked out. Shout out this. Oh, kind of fear. It's you. I am Jesus Christ. You get out of here with that name, Sister Kind of Fear. You tripping. You are tripping. Sister Kind of Fear, Messiah Cole All Star. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me for the last 5 years. I appreciate you. All right. Um, you said sounds good. I'll be listening. Thank you, man. Um, let me see. 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 All right, cool, 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 cool. Y'all got it. Let me bust this stuff down a little bit. Let me bust this stuff down a little bit, and I'll start from the top, and I'll read it. All right, y'all with me? Y'all with me? So it says this. It says this. Look. All right. First of all, begin all prayers and thinking as part of Shu Awutala. So what is Shu Awutala? Somebody tell me what is Shu Awutala. If you don't know how to say the word, I know it's like a whatever word. Let me say this before I begin. What is Shu? What is Shu A? If anybody got the answer, let me know. Shu A Wu Ta La. What is Shuawutala? Does anybody know the answer for that? All right. That's why we say begin all prayers and thinking as a part of Shuawutala. Now, what is Shuawutala? Shuawutala is all observable forces. Okay. Shu would be air, Ah would be fire, Wu would be water, Ta would be earth, and La would mean flesh. Okay. So somebody might say, well, where's electricity in that? Actually, fire is a form of electricity. Fire and electricity are one and the same. Fire represents technology, so does electricity. All right. So when you saying Shuawutala, you talking about all observable forces. But look at this. It says this: opening the gateway to oneness, the pathway to greatness, the one for one. These are the ones that are for the oneness. Now, when you see, I'm doing my best to show people how to look and see different patterns. When you see that number, what do you see? You see four fours, right? He's like, man, that says four fours. No, I don't see four fours. I see one. You get what I'm saying? You might see four fours or might see 16, be like, oh man, four, the 16 right there. But if I ever showed you this number, you should see one. Why would you see one if I showed you that number? Question. Question. For all my code breakers, for all my code crackers, for all those that are cracking codes across the universe, if you ever see this number, why would you see the number one instead of seeing 444? You tell me the answer. And I'll read. I keep on reading why y'all come up with the answer. Why you would see the number one instead of four. All right. So opening the gateway to oneness, the pathway to greatness, the one for one, these are the ones that are for the oneness. Verse 2. Everything is codified and it connects with some sort of sequence. Listen, the one for one is actually the quinary sequence, the pinnacle, the principle of 5, 0 through 4, or what is considered the 1, 4, or the 1 plus 4 equal to 5, the pinnacle. Yo, that is deep. It might go over your head. You might say, well, what are you saying in this? Let me break this stuff down. See, when y'all see the number 4, right? Y'all see number 4, but it's 5 when you see 4. Why you say that? Because you didn't count the 0. The 0 is still a position. Even though it's a position that doesn't represent value, it's still a position. So you still got to count it. So like let's say if I was doing something, if I'm putting it in a computer. For instance, if I'm putting these numbers in a computer and then I go to put 0 in a computer, 0 actually represents a number, even though it doesn't have a value. It still takes up, it represents nothingness. It takes up a space of nothingness. How about that? Just breaking that down. So when you look at 4, you're looking at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're looking at 5 numbers, not actually 4 numbers. All right. But the reason why you see the number 1 instead of 4, 4, 4, 4 is because all 4 are 1. All fours are 1. Real simple. Real simple. So verse 3, this is what balances everything. And through the course of time and space, it has been the driving force and mechanism of the source, or called the center. All right, verse 5. No. Verse 4. This one for one really represents the frequency of time. Listen, it's about to get deep. The frequency of time. When I told you the fact that time is measured by the one for one, the animated and the dormant. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. Okay, so that's the one represents the A. All right. And then the 4 represents the D. So that'd be Anno Domini. All right. So everything that's the 141 connects up with time itself. Also, I took you back to Genesis 114 because it talks about how you utilize the lights in the skies for seasons and you let them govern and dictate time. You don't let watches dictate time. You utilize the lights in the skies to dictate time. Keep it real. Makes sense. Thank you. So yeah. So the reason why I'm gonna break this stuff too down with animated and dormant, some certain planes of existence, thank you. Certain planes of existence you would refer to in a dormant state. And certain planes of existence you would see in an animated state. And you might say, how, what do you mean? Like when a universe, certain forces that the universe more or less had to punish and put in a particular place, they put them in a dormant state. Like they hid these forces in the rocks. They hid these forces in the steel. All right. And the crystals, they hid these forces in that type of state. And they were dormant until somebody touched them and then they unlocked what was in a dormant state. All right. But you exist in an animated state of sort. But to some things that exist longer than you seem like you in a dormant state. You might say, why is that? For instance, a tree looks at time different than how you look at time. A tree lives for hundreds of years. All right. We live for a certain amount of time, but our spirit lives on forever. Our body lives for a certain amount of time. But the spirit of the tree also has a spirit as well. All right. Yes. So yeah, the tree has a spirit as well. It doesn't just has a physical composition, it has a spiritual composition as well. You can feel it when you come next to a tree. Okay. But let me not get off a subject. All right. We was talking about time. All right. It says this, verse 6. You can be looking at something and it is still vibrating no matter how much you think it has stopped. So we learned that in the degree of vibration. Remember that. That so happens to be the day Tuesday, because you start off day Monday with Aglu the mind. Start off day Sunday with Aglu the mind. You start off day Monday um with correspondence, as above, so below. All right. Then you go Tuesday. Tuesday is vibration. Every day has a corresponding mental, I would say a mental construct that you tap into. I don't know. I can explain it in other ways, but what I'm saying is that every day has a premise of thought that deals with the number 7. All right. Now the 7 also represented the pillars of wisdom. You say, what do you mean by the pillars of wisdom? Because I break this stuff down with the zodiac, and I'm gonna move forward and move forward with the 141. All right, we on verse 6, but let me talk about this zodiac situation. All right, and why certain zodiac signs are important. Okay, so I was just talking about the seven pillars of wisdom. Now, these 7 pillars of wisdom are very important because what are the 7 pillars of wisdom? You know, it's a certain place that we find, which is in Proverbs. I'm gonna pull this out for y'all. It's in Proverbs um uh 9 verse 1, right? And this is something very important for people to pay attention to. My fault. I think it's Proverbs or it's might be. Got you. When it talks about how wisdom is represents a woman, right? My fault. I'm gonna pull that out for y'all. I'll pull it out for you. I got you. Where it talks about a wisdom represents a woman, and it's deep. They said she has 7 pillars, and but You might say, well, what does all of this mean? Now, I'm going to break it down. The 7 pillars actually represent the 7 sisters. The 7 sis stars. How y'all like to spell it? Sis stars. The 7 pillars actually represent the 7 sisters. The sis stars. Now you might say, well, what sisters are these? Let me Pleiades, right? Y'all ever look at Pleiades? Let me see. Pleiades, 7 sisters, Pleiades. Okay. Let me show y'all something real quick. My fault. All right, y'all hear that? It's it should be 9-1, I think. When it talks about wisdom is guarded by 7 pillars.
Yeah, 9.
All right. Can you put it in the comment section? I don't know if you can paste it. I'll paste it if I can, but I want to show people some stuff. And this is very important to watch how I break this stuff down. Let me see if y'all can see my screen, yo. Look at this. This is deep. Hold up. I gotta share. I got it. My phone.
Oh, okay, I see.
I got you. Hold up. Watch this. I'm gonna show y'all something.
You gonna paste it quick? Okay.
All right. Y'all see this right here? These are the 7 sisters of Pleiades, right? But the seven sisters of Pleiades are see, when you see Pleiades, you should think about P ladies, or like P and ladies. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, my queen, for putting that in there. Yeah, wisdom has built her house. She has hewn 7 pillars. All right. She has slaughtered the beasts and all of this stuff. But I really wanted 9-1. And yo, check this. This is so deep. Thank you. Thank you. All right. This is so deep. So you might say, well, what does Pleiades have to do with this? Pleiades actually represents the 7 sisters, but Pleiades is in Taurus. Remember that. Pleiades is in Taurus. Now, why is this significant? Is because Taurus, when I told you, I said Taurus actually doesn't mean Taurus. Taurus actually represents Ptah and Ros. Ptah and Ros. I told you Taurus is Ptah and Ros. Or you can say Taros. You can say the same thing, however you want to say it. But you say Ta. And Ta represents the head. Ta represents the mind. But he represents the expression of utterance as well. When you're able to trigger something with your mind and you speak it into existence, that's what he represents. And the Rosh, meaning the head, it comes. Thank you for the share. It means it's coming from the head, the higher position. The Rosh, it doesn't mean head like how you think head means, because even in the Bible, when they say Bara Shif Bara, when they started off as in the beginning was whatever, it doesn't say Reshi, Rosh or Rosh. You know what I mean? Like it's like Rosh meaning head, like to be super beginning, like it is. So Bara means like a beginning after a beginning. So that's how you can kind of think of Genesis when you look at it. It talks about a beginning, not the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? But Ta is deep, because Ta is the expression of what's in the mind. And you're able to express what's in your mind and you bring it into existence um from I'm going to say from the it's literally the manifestation of utterance. I don't want to go too deep with that because I don't want to rear off subject. Okay. But the 7 sisters are very important to Taurus. They're very important to Taurus. Now, remember, as well with this science, with me just breaking this stuff down. Taurus, when you think about the universe is actually shaped like a Taurus. And we replaced the zodiac sign for Taurus. It's, I'm gonna say it like this. Ta, if I ever say a Taurus, I won't call him a Taurus. I call him Ta Rastafarian. That's what I would call. Or Ta Rasta or Ta Rastafari. That's what I would call him if I would see a Taurus, because you think the horns of a Taurus represent the bull. It doesn't represent the bull. It represents the locks of a Rasta man or a Rasta woman. You feel me? It's not the horns of a bull at all. See, you can create these zodiac signs based upon your imagination, but it's the premise of thought of how you connect it. Yeah, yeah. So it's Taros, Pleiades, Taros, mind, utterance. Yes, correct. That is correct, Sister La'onk. That is all that's correct. All of that is correct. So now when we breaking this stuff down, and you might say, how is this relevant to the age of information of what we living in? I told you, I said, all right, you got 7 days or 7 premises of thoughts of how you connect up 7 hemispheres in your mind. Okay. And I brought you back to the 7 true chakras. Somebody asked me where they are. The 7 true chakras, all right, are 2 at your feet, 2 at your knees, 2 at your hands, and 1 at your head. All right, those are your 7 chakras. Now you got other chakras to represent certain other points, but those connect up with the upgraded body of the Messiah. All right, if you ever look at the upgraded body of the Messiah, you will see various different points that you connect up with, and those are considered to be chakra points. All right, but going back to Taurus, and why is it so significant with the 7 sis stars? Now, let me tell you something. Wisdom represents a woman. Knowledge represents a man. Okay? Knowledge represents a man. Understanding represents the child. Let's keep it basic. Let's go back to this. Knowledge represents the man. All right? So, knowledge is the foundation of all things, a clear and certain perception of information learned by one's ability of looking, listening, and observing. All right? Men are more outward creatures, like the sun. We shine like the sun, going into the earth. All right, as woman being a more inward, darker creature, does her creation in darkness. All right. Wisdom is wise words spoken, experience from situations and events lived. So you might say, well, what does the experience mean in this factor? See, the woman is literally the progenitor of every nation. All right. She is the foundation of every nation. So she is the experience. She holds the experience of all nations. Now, man is simply the knowledge. All right. As in being the foundation, a clear and certain perception. That's it. That's it. But she is the experience of all these things. And the child, which is the understanding, is the comprehension of the thought. All right. Just keeping it basic. But moving up to the 7 sisters, these 7 planes of thought, you got the mind. All right. One sister represents the mind. One sister represents correspondence. All right. As above, so below. We got another sister that represents polarity. All right. Then we got another sister that represents rhythm. Rhythm. Excuse me. You got the mind, correspondence, vibration, um, polarity, polarity. Then you got rhythm. Then you got cause and effect, and then you got gender. But when you think of these things, what's up? Peace, Sister Jordan. I see you. No. Look at this. Anyhow, thanks for asking, but please refer. Don't ask no private questions. If you want any private questions, you should ask me. If you think, if you've been following me for a while, don't ask me private questions on here like that. You my peoples, I bang with you, but please, just if you want to ask me some private questions and you my peoples, just hit me up and ask me. All right, don't do it on a broadcast. Okay. Um. So anyhow, going back to the point that I was saying, you know, when these thought the seven planes of thought. Thank you. No problem. Now you good. Thank you for deleting it, Sister Jordan. You my homie. You know I got you. Um, these seven planes of thought, you got to think of them springing out all at the same time, like one star. You can't think of the 7 days like, let's say today is Sunday, today is the mind. All right. Um, today is Sunday, today is the mind, right? And you say tomorrow's Monday, tomorrow's correspondence. No, you got to think about all these things actually operating at the same time. All right. Now, again, I brought y'all back to the perspective that Taurus doesn't represent a bull, a fucking bull. Excuse my vulgar. Taurus does not represent a bull. Taurus represents the locks of a Rasta man or a Rasta woman. All right. Now remember, those locks were the strength of Samson. Okay. Now it was three Sams that you connected with. It wasn't just Samson. It was Samuel the priest. It was Samson, the one with strength, because Samuel was the one that connected with the mind. He was the one that had the mental. Then you had Samson. He had the strength. And then you had Uncle Sam. He just was out killing. He just was out to slaughter shit. He was ready to slaughter something. These are the three Sams that you dealt with when it came to Samson, or the son, or how should I spell it? It means really the son of the sun. How I want to say it. Because Sham is actually means son, yeah. But Sham doesn't actually mean, you're actually saying son twice. But Sham actually Shema actually means up there. This is I mean, keep it real. When you thinking about the word, see, because a lot of times when people are reading the story, they're not applying the premise of thought to it. You're not applying the premise of thought. Sam or Samuel or Samson or Uncle Sam, they represent a template design of how you go to war. You say, for real? Yeah, how you go to war. Okay, you go to war as the one that's mentally equipped. That's Samuel. He's the prophet, the priest. All right. Then you got Samson. Yeah, you get that strength. Because you got to think about it. If you in God's word, you doing a calisthenic. Because, for instance, if I keep on picking this book up to my face 100 times, I'm literally working on my biceps. He's like, you working on a degree of your faith as well, because you're doing a calisthenic just by lifting a book to your face every day. You're literally doing a calisthenic. And that's why when you go to the body of the Messiah, you'll see that faith is guarded by the bicep. Thank you, Queen. You'll see faith is guarded by the bicep. All right. The seven sisters, excuse me. Yeah, you definitely got it. The seven sisters actually connect up because wisdom is a feminine principle. All right. When we is talking about Taurus, we're talking about the locks or the horns of a Rasta woman. And that Rasta woman, these horns or these locks is symbolic of a rope. All right. To pull you ever close back to the most high. Pull you back to the fold of reality of where you need to be. That's what these locks are. That's why they extend so long. Because they're literally ropes to bring you back to the mind of oneness. All right. So the universe is literally shaped like a torus. It's literally shaped like the number 8. If you look at the number 8, the number 8 is a torus. Okay. Um, moving back to the 141, and I'm gonna bust this stuff down, and I had to stop there because the portal of time, in essence, to Taurus Thank you. Yeah, the locks of Samson, Samuel, and Uncle Sam. Because remember, Uncle Sam is also the devil. Samuel is a name of the devil. It means to poison those of El, the poison those of the source. That's one of the titles that what y'all consider to be the adversary earned. He earned to poison those of El. Now you might say, well, why the freak his name is Samael then? Because Sama means to hear. It means to like listen. So the way he poisons you by you listening to him, you listening to the shit that he got to say because he's a whisperer called a Nakash. All right. It's many names for this adversary. It's many names for his adversary, but all of it it can't hurt God's people. But if you really got that mental psychic self-defense, ain't no devil can really penetrate your situation. But Samael means to poison those of El, the poison those of the source, the poison those of the source. All right. I'm gonna say that. Also, moving forward. Now, I was bringing this into Taurus and how all this connects up for a certain reason. Taurus represents a higher education. The passion of Taurus, also Taurus being a fixed sign, it actually represents a higher degree of education as well. That's why I connected you with Taurus as in being Pataros. And it's connecting up with the seven sisters, but the seven sisters also represent seven colors. Because when you see seven colors, you got to think of mental projections. The seven colors and those seven sisters, they also represent tones. Because if seven women were right here and in unison, each woman would represent a color and each woman would also represent a tone. They wouldn't be in the same tone. They would find a different tone that they would pronounce, and then they will all sing as one, and then they will create the ultimate tone, which is the eighth octave. Moving on to the nine. All right. Let me explain a little bit more of this 141. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna go hard on that Sam. If you want more on that Uncle Sam thing, I break that down in the scroll of Halloween. When I talk about the three Sams, yeah. You said what are the colors? I'll show you the colors real quick. Thank you, Sister Ramona. Good question. That was a good question. Uh, I got you. So it starts off with three primary colors. All right, which is red, yellow, and blue. It starts off with the three primary colors, and then you got two other colors, but they're not really colors. They're just what is considered to be states of existence or modes, or what is black and white. So that's five. All right. My fault. I got you. I'm gonna show you something real quick. Um, see. My fault. I'm trying to put this. I'm trying to show you this real quick. There you go, right here, sis. There you go, Sister Ramona. These are the seven colors. All right. Now I don't want y'all to get too weird on me and say, "Yo, this doesn't represent. This represents something else," because it has been people that took this symbol right here, took these colors to represent their movement. All right, this represents God's people. I'm gonna keep it real. Let me see if I can find it there real quick. I got y'all. This symbol actually represents God's people. Or I'm not gonna say God's people because you're gonna get real spooky. But I'm gonna say like it represents because when you talk about the like even in Revelations, when they talk about how the gates, the different gates in order to get into New Jerusalem, all of them are connected with these different colors of the rainbow. The seven, but these are also the seven hemispheres of thought. When you vibrate, let me keep it real. Let me keep it 100 with y'all. I want y'all to pay attention to what I'm about to say. Oh man, I gotta show y'all this, and this, y'all, this is really important. What I'm about to say to you. Look, when you chant, and when you are vibrating at a certain rate, you are actually, your aura changes as well. Your color, your hue, it changes. It changes as you vibrate in a different tone. All right. So this is very important with these seven octaves. But it also represents a station that you can tap into. Because remember, man, y'all gotta remember this. Um, you know about beacons, right? What is a beacon? What is a beacon? A beacon is something that resonates frequencies, like repetitively. Repetitively. That's a beacon. So like a beacon is something that goes, it constantly going like this, all right? And it's sending out a signal. So when you chant a word over and over again, you're sending out a freaking beacon to a station. And when you vibrate at a certain degree, because like you come in at a certain vibration. Let's say you hop out of the shower or you doing something, whatever you're doing. So you come in at a certain vibration. But when you start to chant repetitively over and over and over and over again, you start to change not only your vibration, you start to change your hue and your color as well. And then with that hue and that color, it resonates not only as a frequency that some people can pick up on or some people can see, because frequencies are you can actually see frequencies, but what happens is that they're like smaller than what people consider the human eye can see. But if I had some sort of whatever, you can see these, literally these cosmic forces. So they exist in a physical state. So you can't say like, and they have a weight and a mass that's attached to them as well. All right. But when you are vibrating at a certain level, you turn and you tap into a station of sort. Once you free yourself, like, see, a lot of times you can't free yourself because you're worrying about too much shit. Excuse my language, I'm vulgar now. Like, you worrying about this, you worrying about that, you worrying about what's going on in the physical. All right. And like, when you look in the mirror, you know that it's something else there. When you go to the mirror and even when you touch yourself, you know it's something else there. So when you close your eyes and you go reflect back, why not? Why not hold on to what you know is there? The physical is fading away. All this shit is not there. It's not really there. It's just in your mind. It's an illusion of thought once you close your eyes. This is literally an illusion of thought because nothing exists except for what's in there. You hear me? Like, I'm on some real metaphysical thoughts, and I'm about taking your mind and your being to the next level if that's what you choose to be. This is what you signed up for. I'm here to make you not afraid of death. I'm here not to make you not afraid of love. How about that? To make you not afraid of life, embracing life. Because some people don't understand. Um, People rather gravitate towards death instead of life because it's so easy. And I'm not talking about the death that represents change, because true death represents cosmic change. And let me tell y'all something. You got these things. I said 5 colors, right? I gave you 3 colors, which represents the 3 primary colors, which is man, woman, and child, right? Also blue, red, and yellow. Okay, 3 primary colors. And then I gave you the 2 moods, which are white and black. All right. But all of these are, they're all symbolic. They're all symbolic to how you connect up to the universe. Literally going back to the stations that one can tap into. All right. It's literally my fault. I got you. Megahertz. Megahertz. I saw your comments. I seen your comments. My fault. My fault. I got y'all. All right. But death comes in 5 principles. Listen to me. That's why I talked about the 5. All right. The 5 is important. All right. Or change or some sort of whatever that's going to happen in your life. I'm not going to say death because death is only one principle of change. You got death, decay, fertilization, gestation, and then rebirth. All right. Those are the 5 principles of change. For any change that happen in your life, a death must occur. And you say, well, for real? Meaning you must be willing to give up something or to die. In order to become new, you got to be born again. You got to die, right? Even baptism is symbolic of death when you go in the water. It's like it's symbolic of you dying. When you coming out of the water, it's symbolic of you being reborn. You got to be, in order for change to happen in your life, you must be willing to undergo death. But after death comes um decay. Like like you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't accepted death. Like the decay, I'm gonna tell you what decay feels like. Bitterness. It's like regret in the death.
Wow.
That's what decay feels like. Like let's say you gave up some lifestyle that you was on, or some lifestyle that you're not going to be, you're not committed to, or whatever. It comes to death, but the regret of it is the decay. All right. Then you got gestation. That's the all period where you feel at peace in a sense with what's going on. You no longer fighting it. That's gestation. You no longer at real fight with it. Because change, I'm telling you, change, especially drastic change in someone's life, is always going to cause some form of turbulence. You got to think about that. Any type of change in your life is going to have some form of turbulence to it. Letting go of the old. That's right. That's right. Letting go of the old. Yes. People rather gravitate towards. Yo, I'm gonna say this. Once you move forward after death, like I said, you got decay and then you got gestation. That's when you starting to feel like at peace with what's going on with the change. All right. But then after that comes fertilization. Um, it's fertilization. Excuse me. After gestation is fertilization. All right. And fertilization is like when you start to recreate yourself. You start to recreate yourself in the mode of the change. You start saying, you know what? This change might be really good for me. So you lay yourself on fertile ground. All right. And then you begin to be reborn. All right. So yeah, but going back to these because I just went off on a tangent a little bit. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Death, decay, gestation, fertilization, and then once again rebirth. Yeah, this is the crossroad. You're right. It's the crossroads. Yo, the hardest part about change, I think, is the decay part. It's not the death, because death hit your ass like this. Oof. Death hit your ass. The Grim Reaper hit your ass like, woof. I didn't know this change was coming. But the hardest part of it is the decay. Yo, let me tell y'all something. I'm dead serious. Let's talk about an apple, for instance, or orange. Let's say the hardest part of an apple is a decay. You might say, why is that? Because when the apple fell from the tree, its purpose was to get to your belly. It didn't fulfill its purpose. So now it's decaying. It's in regret. It's feeling, look at it. Just look at the energy of how it looks. I'm just saying. Just look at the apple, for instance, that drops from the tree and did not hit your belly. I want you to think of yourself like the apple that fell from the tree. The apple don't fall from the tree, right? Fall far from the tree. We coming from the family tree of the Most High, though. Remember that. Okay? So this is like, because we fall under, like, we're under the fold of children of the universal principle. So we come from that family tree. So when we fail from that family tree, like, right, if we don't fulfill our purpose, a decay happens, just like the apple. You know what I'm saying? And we literally we go to the stomach of the Most High, because we're digested in the belly of the Most High, like the whale, like we're in the belly of the whale. But it's not whale, because whale in Hebrew is noon. It's noon. So how can he be in the noon? How could Jonah be in the noon? You know what noon he was in? He was in the time that we in right now, which was the chaotic waters. The chaotic waters represent your mind. Like when you got all these chaotic thoughts in your mind, all this stuff that you thinking at once. Like, I'm just thinking all this stuff, man. I'm thinking, that's noon. And then the feminine principle of that is noonette. Noonette. This is a station of thought. I'm dead serious. It's noon. These are the primordial waters. Now I can look that up and show you. Noon, noon. Now noon actually represents the time that we living in. Hold up, noon. Noon is the time that we living in, y'all. Hear me out. We are living in the time of noon. You say, for real, the sun is setting, Lamel? The sun is setting? Yeah, it really is setting. It's setting on a couple people. All right, because the age of information is here, and a lot of stuff that was hidden is now being revealed. Peep game on it. Noon. You see, noon. Noon represents the water, right? The water god. But noon is also symbolic of Aquarius, the season of Aquarius being the water bearer. You see that? Look at that. Noon, noon, new, Nua. If you want to go to the Japanese description of it, Nua, Nua, new, noon, noon, new. You can say it like new, 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 new. And also, it's the same word as and new, and new, and new. See, you may say Anu as a Sumerian deity, as in being the most high, meaning the most high, right? But it's not really Anu when we express it in the Tuwalu. We express Anu as in being Anu, Anu, like this, like and Nu, Anu. Y'all hear me? This is how we express it in the Tuwalu. I knew. I knew is really an expression of saying the most high. The most high. All right. But it is associated with new, because I knew is the breath out, because you breathing out. Like and la. La is the breathe in. La is the breathe in. All right. Is the breathe out. Ah. Right? Is the breathe out. La is the breathe in. All right. So when you say I knew, we're breathing out. We're breathing out. I knew. I knew. Meaning the most high. The most high is new. Is new. But when we say it in tones, we say I knew. I knew being the most high. Because we saying I knew as in new. New. meaning the primordial waters. All right. And ah is when you breathing into something. All right. And you can reverse this as well because Allah is literally a palindrome. It's a palindrome expression. You can say, say the same thing. You can breathe it in and out. All right. But connecting the thought, the realm of thought, we talking about I knew is the most high for us. All right, very interesting. Thank you. But new, when we talk about new, you think about new, man. Come on, man. We slaying it right now. New, as you see right here, you see the 9 principles, the Enneads. All right, up here. Okay, they're up there. You see, new. New is very important. But I told you, noon, also spelled noon, represents the well. Noon. Noon is the well. But y'all say nun as the sacred mother as well, right? In Catholic terms, y'all might say a nun is the sacred mother, the sacred woman, right? That doesn't have sex and does all that other stuff. She does the work for the church, right? I don't know. You might could say nun or noon, but it's noon. All right. Watch how I break this stuff down. Look, noon. If you go into let me see. Jesus said, "It shall not be a sign shown except for the prophet Jonas." I'm gonna pull this Bible verse out for y'all. It's Matthew chapter 16, verse 4, right? And I'm gonna pull this out. I'm gonna place it in the comment section for y'all, right? But I want y'all to pay attention to this message. And I'm not using the Bible as a reference point, but I'm utilizing it as something to uncodify something real quick so you can understand. It says a wicked and adulterous generation look for a sign. You said, well, what zodiac sign, Lamel? You talking about signs, like the signs in the sky? Because these same signs are talking about a sign in heaven. We talk about in heaven, like the zodiac signs, like in Genesis chapter 14, when they talk about the signs. All right. But what you see is it says the sign, all right, it says, but none will be given to it except for the sign of Jonah. All right. So Jonah say, well, what do you mean by this? What is the main story of Jonah? Jonah was in the belly of the whale, right? His main story was uh or whatever story about a man running away from his purpose, and when he ran away from his purpose, he got caught up in some whatever, and then he got swallowed by a fish, and then once he started praying to God for a certain day, like 3 days and 3 nights, he came out of the belly of the whale prophesizing. All right. This is symbolic of what's going on to this day and time. Jonah is not a real person. Oh, yo, it's so deep. Man, let me take y'all to Jonas chapter 3:1. I'm gonna freak it up real quick. I got y'all. My fault. I'm pull this out. But Jonah is not really a real person, yo. Jonah actually represents a story of a people. It represents the story of a people of this day and time. Now, you might say that proves the Bible is prophetical. I never said the Bible is prophetical in a sense. When I said that we live in a book. And what happened is people have seen these cycles go over and over again, and they wrote the cycles down. That's it. They have comprised all these cycles in a degree or in so-called 66 books, but it's way more books than that. All right. What I was going to show you, I was going to show y'all some verse. It just slipped my mind real quick, but Oh yeah, I was gonna show y'all Jonah chapter 3 verse 1. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, Jonah, Jonah chapter 3 verse 1. It went 2. I don't know why it said 2. Yeah, I wanted to show y'all some stuff. 3 verse 1. It might be some another verse I'm looking for. Oh, um, it's something that I'm looking for with Jonah. It might be, I'm gonna find it for y'all, but it talks about how when they talk about the sackcloth, you know what I mean? People learn about the meaning of the sackcloth.
Verse 5.
It's verse 5. Let me see. It talks about
Jonah 3, verse 5.
Chapter 3, verse 5. And put a sackcloth from the greatest of them even to the least of them.
it talks about how it be a crying out because
Yeah,
of
that's
the.
it.
Y'all read it?
So the people of
Go ahead, read it.
Nineveh believed God and proclaimed a fast and put on a sackcloth from the greatest of them even to the least of them.
Them.
And it says,
It represents a crying out.
Came unto the king of Nineveh, and he arose from his throne, and he
That's-
made his robe from him and covered him with sackcloth and sat in ashes.
Yes. All right. So the reason why I brought this up, think about it. And
That's verse 8.
verse 8.
And he caused it to be proclaimed and published through Nineveh by the decree of the king and his nobles.
Oh man, I'm gonna slay it with this. I'm gonna so slay it with this
Nor
verse.
beast, nor herd, nor flock taste anything. Let them not feed nor drink water.
I'm gonna so slay it with
man
this.
and beast be covered with sackcloth and cry mightily unto God. Yea, let them turn everyone from his evil way.
Yo.
The violence that is in their hands.
Yo, people wonder, well, what the hell was the sackcloth? Because I told you, the Messiah said, a evil and adulterous nation seeketh after a sign, right? A evil and adulterous nation, a generation. Now, peep game on it, but it shall no sign shall be sown except for the sign of the prophet Jonah. Now, like I said, Jonah was in the belly of the whale. Now, the belly of the whale is noon. Noon represents like a darkness of sort. You know what I'm saying? But it represents the darkness of is that people are in literally is the belly of the whale that you got to come out of. Okay. But I'm gonna reverse the role and I'm gonna say that Jonah is not really inside the belly of the whale, that the whale is inside the belly of Jonah. I'm gonna run it, reverse it back. That Jonah is not inside the belly of the whale, the belly of the whale, that the whale is actually inside the belly of Jonah. And this is something that you got to reflect in your mind and think about when I say that. All right. So the people put on a sackcloth. What is the sackcloth? Yo, what is the sackcloth? See, the sackcloth is when you're not in your traditional garments, when you're not in your royal garments, you go and put on a sackcloth. All right. And it represents a crying out. Now, what happened is that the people have literally put on sackcloth. Yes. People have literally put on sackcloth and it has been a crying out in this belly or in this whale's belly or the whale in your belly. All right. It has literally been a crying out. That's why I brought you to that verse. All right. And also to say this, bringing that out, that you have so much potential as a people. That's why I'm telling you that the whale is inside your belly. You are not inside the belly of the whale. All right. That's why the Messiah said this. It's in my Father's house are many dimensions or mansions. And you ask yourself, how can a mansion fit inside of a house? Well, shit, don't you got big ideas? You should have bigger ideas than what can fit your body, your physical body can compensate. You get what I'm saying? Like The ideas that you have should be so big, they should be like mansions inside the house of your body. Y'all get me?
Yeah.
So in my father's house are many dimensions,
Mm.
or many mansions that you can tap into. All right. Moving forward,
Mm.
moving forward back to this Jonah story, yo. Moving forward back to this Jonah story, and talking about Nu. I said the name of the Most High is Anu. Anu. Now it relates to, and I'm not talking about a Sumerian deity. I'm not talking about the Sumerian Anu. You might mistake from me saying Anu. I'm not saying Anu. I'm pronouncing it a whole different way. All right. One of the names of the Most High would be Anu. Anu. Ah and Nu. And this is relative to this period of time that we living in, because we live in the period, the great time period called Ta Noon. Ta Noon. Y'all hear me? This great time period is called Ta Noon. So at the head of it would be Anu. And some people refer to this as Anun. And Anun would be the hidden sun. For instance, like a lot of people give praise to Atum Re or Atum Ra being the first sun that rises, right? That's the first sun. That would be your Atum Ra, right? And it has people that gave praise to Atum Ra. But then you got Atun, all right, which is Atun Ra. You can say your even in at the end of prayers, you don't have to actually have to say Amun. You can say either Atun, Atum, Atun, or Amun. You can say it in that three sequence. All right, you can say Atum, Atun, and Amun. All right, but it's a hidden one that represents the Most High. Now you say I thought Atun was the Most High. That is wrong. That is wrong, because that's the high sun. That's the high sun. We don't deal with that sun. We deal with the hidden high sun. The hidden high sun. You say, what's that? Because if the sun is here at Tumra, and then it's here at Atunra, and it's here at Amunra, well, where would it be right here? Y'all ain't counting that. That's the Most High. That's the Most High. And that's Anun Ra. Anun Ra. Or Anu Ra. Anu Ra. Anu and then Re. Ra. It would be Anu Ra. Anu Ra. That would be the Most High Sun. See, we deal with the owl, right? Am I right? See, this is the secret about our totem that's different than everybody. Y'all deal with the hawk because y'all are in the light. Y'all deal with the falcon as a bird that represents your higher canopy of thought. We deal with the owl, which is the elves. We deal with the owls. We deal with the elves. The owl is the totem of choice. Why? Because we see through the darkness. We see through the darkness of disparity. All right? Owl is L. Also, owl. Owl is owl. It is the same thing. It is the same thing. EL, owl, or owl. We deal with the nocturnal bird. A lot of people utilize their totem as the a bird that sees in light. I deal with a bird that sees in darkness and light. As a matter of fact, my bird can see better in darkness than light. This is the bird that brought the soul to you. That's called the Ba bird in ancient Egypt. They call it the Ba bird. Ba equals soul. But the great Baba, which means father, the great Baba was the owl. That was the totem that connect us up. So the Ba bird is the owl. All right? It comes and drops the soul on a finite being. All right? Also, the owl turns in 361 degrees. When it turns its head, it turns its head in all directions, meaning that it can see in past, present, and future, and it's connected up with what you consider to be the alpha and omega. All right? But that owl is very important as a totem. Okay? Moving forward. But I knew. When we chant, I knew. Because another thing, you said, do you have a picture of? Yes, I do. Got a picture of the sacred Ba bird. I'm gonna show you. I got you on this. I got you, sis. I got you. Ba bird. Hold up. I got you. Ba bird, Egyptian. I got you. Let me see if I can. There it is. All right. Here you go. Right here. I got you. Sacred Ba bird. Boosh.
Got it?
Boosh. Oh. It's murder she wrote right here. Here you go.
It looks a little different.
Yeah,
You see it?
I know I've seen it before.
Oh my. It's getting hot in here.
I see it in the hieroglyph. I see it in the hieroglyphics.
The Ba bird is really an owl, yo. It's really an owl. Yo, this is crazy. Look at this. Look at this. Owl and it's gonna get crazy. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. What y'all want to do, man? My fault. I'm wilding out right now, but I'm feeling good. I just literally caught the Holy Ghost. Yeah, the Ba bird. It's the soul bird in Egypt. I told you, yo. Thank you. You see that? The Ba bird. There he go. There he go. We killing him. I told you. Look at this. This is something. This comes. Thank you. This is something from, like, this is coming from the muscle. I ain't gonna hold you. You might say, well, where do you get that from, Lamel? I actually got it from the Tuwalu. I got it from my grandma. My grandma taught me about this stuff a long time ago. I already knew this at 16. A lot of these lessons that I'm running back to y'all, a lot of this shit was drilled in my head before I was 16 when my grandma passed away. She made sure she gave me all of this so I know about it. All right? Real talk. Especially the Ba bird. You know, and then she taught me this too. Y'all ever wonder where I get this from? The touch, the 5 lobes of your brain. I got that from my grandmom as well. A lot of these lessons I got from my grandma. But going back to that Ba bird situation, I'm sorry, you want to sit down?
No, fine.
Going back to the Ba bird situation, yeah, this is very important. This is very important to the information that I'm sharing with you. Because listen, if I go and show you, watch this, the letter M, you'll see that what they'll do is M equals an owl. I'll show you in the Egyptian hieroglyphics that they'll show you that an owl is an M. See, two different birds.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Ankh bird, all right, and then you got the Ba bird. The Ba bird is the owl. I always been telling people that. Always, the owl is the letter M. I just keep on looking this up, and it's synonymous. The letter M is synonymous to the owl. Now, what's so deep about it is this, right? Let me break this stuff down. Thank you. The owl in the letter M, remember the Messiah is connected with that letter, but you might say in the realm of phonetics and how they created the what do you call it, the ideogram, how they or the hieroglyphics, how they created the hieroglyphic was actually to bring you back into self. Because if you look at the letter, the hieroglyphic, the owl, it looks like when you hold the nose down right here. When you pull your beak down like this, that it just looks like an owl's nose. You know what I'm saying? It's symbolic of an owl's nose, but that's also symbolic of the letter M. When they take the letter M and they take it like this,
Mm-hmm.
it's symbolic of the owl's nose being down like this. But it's not just the owl's nose, it's the nose of the African. It's the wide nose. Y'all understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's what it's symbolic of. Come down like a beak. Like a beak. All right. But going back to the to why it connects up, because remember, it brings the soul to the being, to the person. Now you can have your soul restored to you, whether you know it or not. You can lose your soul. You know, say for real.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psalms. Watch this. Psalms chapter 23. This is like, it has been a person that has recorded this in a psalm, but a psalm. Remember, it's contemporary. The psalms are older than what you think. You know what I mean? It's not just in the Bible. As far as the psalms are contemporary uh songs of tribute that they have ran back for thousands of years. All right. But one of the things that has been written down in someone's, um, I would consider it to be like a diary. Let me see this. For their testimony. One of their testimonies was that they lost their soul. If you look at it, he says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in the green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters." And what?
He restores my soul.
Mm.
He restoreth my soul.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way you can have your soul restored if it if it left you. Now, what is soul? Soul, see, it's a difference between soul and spirit. Thank you, Queen. Soul is your mind, but it's the emotional part of you, but it's also your memory.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the emotional part of your memory that makes it everlasting, that makes you everlasting. You know what I'm saying? But a spirit is it's like a personality or persona. Like spirits, they exist. Like you can chant a spirit into existence or keep a spirit around. For instance, like people start rapping like Tupac. We know that's Tupac sound. Be like, yo,
Right.
Tupac moving in that
Right.
motherfucker.
Right.
He got Tupac in him. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing. And that's why I told people, when you get out of the book, when you free yourself out of the book, I mean, when you free yourself out of the matrix, excuse me, you go into the book.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by when I'm saying you're in the book.
Yes.
See, Tupac's in the book. You might say, yeah, because the great book represents when you affect millions of people.
Right.
no matter what. And the universe has like a way that it impresses itself by people's heart and their desires. So you got many people moving this in this form of a desire. You know what I'm saying? That spirit resonates and it becomes I would say a archetype in the book. Like Tupac is an actual archetype in the book,
Wow.
Makes sense.
in the great book, because he freed himself from the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got other people. Bob Marley, he freed himself
Facts.
from
Yes.
the matrix. He is in the great book.
Right.
Right.
You know, we know Bob Marley. You can feel Bob Marley.
Mhm.
Somebody play his music, you know,
Mhm.
and even the tone of his revolutionary speech, you know that's him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Um, Various other people. It's not just music that keep you around forever. It's your ideas that keep you around. What you bring to the planet. You know what I mean? Like for instance, um, let's think about we may not know the person who quote unquote invented the light bulb, because we know it was invented thousands of years ago, and they always attribute it to, you know, a Caucasian that invented the white
Right.
light. But we know that the black man invented the light bulb. But we bring that spirit, we bring the spirit of each individual that created this particular craft.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever that they brought here in this particular universe, and we still use it,
Right.
we still bring their spirit up.
That's facts.
Yeah, so that's why I don't like to I don't engage in tarot. I mean, if you ever ask me, I don't engage in tarot cards, is because I don't have a license over that. Like the person that invented it,
Mhm.
I didn't come up to them and ask them or go under their particular school to interpret it. So in the afterlife, or in what is considered to be the spiritual world, they're still here controlling or moving the cards.
Right.
Mhm.
So a person may think they moving the cards, but the spirit of the being
I get
who
that. I
I
invented
get what
it
you're saying.
I
is
totally
moving the
get that.
cards.
Yeah.
And you know the craziest shit about this is that you keeping them in existence.
Wow.
That's deep.
That's yeah.
You got that?
Yes.
You ever hear about when they talk about the gods, in order to bring the gods, like some gods are forgotten, so
Right.
thus
Right.
they
And
don't
people summons them.
They no longer.
they no longer
Mhm.
exist,
Yeah, because they
because
forgot.
people forgot
Forgot
That's
about
about
how
them.
them.
you keep someone alive, basically by the memory, by
The memory.
Yes,
of
by
them.
the memory.
The
Yes.
memory.
Correct. So that's what happens in a sense with I got you, Queen. That's what
Okay.
happens with us.
Mhm.
That's why it's important to do good works here on the planet. It's important to do the right thing and let your impression be felt in a good way.
Yes.
Because you might say, well, what is hell? You know, let me put this. I got something for y'all. I'm because this is in the 141, and I want to share some thoughts with you on this. And they might ask me, what is hell? And I want to explain this from the perspective of the supreme grandmother and grandfather of mathematics, and then I'm gonna elaborate on it with you. All right. So first we're gonna talk about heaven. Okay.
Mm.
I'm gonna paste this in the comment section. I got y'all. Just give me a second. Thank you. Thank you. So we got heaven, and then I'm gonna put hell in there. Um, I'm gonna put hell, and this is the supreme grandmother and grandfather of mathematics. Excuse me.
Mhm.
All right. So we got heaven. So heaven would represent. Oh, excuse me. Heaven would represent the mind,
Mind.
the euphoric pleasure of existence, with no disparity, no stress,
Mhm.
no pain, with happiness as its core element. It stimulates the reality of a place everyone hoped it to be, or it wouldn't be heaven. You gotta watch it though. I got something for y'all with this heaven shit.
Okay.
And then you got hell. Hell is the body. Wow.
Yeah.
If heaven's the
Wow.
mind, hell is the body. Golly,
Wow.
yo,
Fire.
yo, the inevitable challenge of
Wow.
opposition,
Wow.
the
Yeah.
torture and agony of failure. That's hell.
Sounds like a state of consciousness to me.
It's a state of being, a consciousness that you can have within yourself.
Yeah.
But it's within the
It's
body.
in their body.
It's
And
in the
because of
body.
pleasures.
Yeah.
Physical.
You get what I'm saying? So when you going into the mind, you go into the realm of heaven. When you stay in the body, you stay in the body, you stay
That's
in
what
the
they're talking
realm
about,
of
the flesh.
hell.
Yeah, it's from the
That's why
flesh,
it's talking about
right?
the
That's what I'm
flesh.
thinking too.
You're not
It's about
supposed
the
to operate
flesh.
in the flesh. That's the
Wow,
body. That's
operating in
hell.
your flesh is hell.
That's correct. So, just elaborating on this,
Real deep.
you can keep someone in hell.
Wow.
You can keep somebody in hell because of the negative feeling that you have for them. Like, let's say if a bunch of people hate Jeffrey Dahmer.
Mm-hmm.
When you just think about his name, you fucking hate him. You just think about it. So he's in hell right
For
now.
real.
This nigga's in hell. Like when you start thinking about the shit that this nigga did,
Yeah.
and you whatever, you keep this nigga in hell. Yo, it comes a time where these niggas slip out of hell. You know what I'm saying? That's why the universe got a special thing for these people, right? To get their asses, to keep their asses in hell. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, I always talk about how the universe be punishing the animated and the dormant. I mean,
Right.
the dormant.
Right. the
Those that
dormant.
are wicked, they put them in a dormant state. You know what I'm saying? But what happens is, hell is for the people that did shit or did whatever. They just fucked up individuals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what happens is you get, like I said, you keep them in hell by your mind, and keeping them in the hell by thinking about the hideous things they did.
Mm-hmm.
But you keep also certain spirits in a heaven as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By your remembrance of them and how you
Mm-hmm.
think of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you can bring these beings from heaven,
Wow.
from the heavenly abode, as well as you can bring summoned beings from hell. Wow. You understand where I'm coming from on this? You get what I'm saying? So they work one in the same. Depends on
I get
depends
that.
on your mind state.
Mm-hmm.
But what
Right, exactly.
Everything is your
It's
mind
in your mind
state.
state.
Yeah.
You keep them in that hell.
Yo, look
Same
at
thing like we keep ourselves in hell too.
Yes.
We be stressed out. We keep thinking about the things that's stressing us out. We keep worrying.
I want to put something in here for y'all. These are principles that we should all know, and these are the 7
In the
principles.
state of hell.
See.
In your mind.
Exactly, it's mine.
In your state of mind keeps them in hell.
That's why I tell you,
Like, oh,
I'd say,
we in hell. You in hell now.
yeah, when we in our meditation, you gotta let loose of your body. You can't be thinking about your body. You gotta be in your shell, which is your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But remember, today is Aglu, which represents the mind.
For sure. Sunday.
See if I got something for this. Here it is. I got it. I'm gonna put it in the comments.
The mind.
So let me this is for everyone. I only need about 10 more minutes of your time and I'm gonna get off. All right. And I'm gonna finish this lesson for the day. But when you let me read this for y'all. So it says this Sunday, right? Which is Aglu, the mind. The mind. So the mind is the shell. Shell is the mind. The universe is mental. Everything that exists is spirit programmed. Matter is densified spirit programs. See, the reason why we remember we are in the age of information. So we talking about matter is densified spirit programs. You got to think about it. Light, come on, man. In order for light to exist, right, it had to be physical because E equals energy and motion, energy and motion. So we talk about mass as energy and motion. So it was a mass at first, and then it turns to energy. That's how they convert shit, like combustion and shit like that. They have a conversion kit for that. So your thoughts is almost the same. How can I say? Is the same way. It's like you got energy, right? You got like let's say you're thinking about something. It has a light to it. That's why I would tell you imagine it. Because once you imagine it, you create the light to it.
Wow.
The
You
light,
create
the
a light.
idea, the thought.
Yes.
Now
yes,
light,
that light that
the
goes up,
light.
the image.
Light bulb
Yeah.
went on.
Light bulb,
Yeah.
yes.
Now
That's what
remember,
you speak of.
why do you breathe through your nose when you imagine? Because when you breathe through your nose, you light up something that's called the olfactory bulb.
Yes.
Right there in your brain, right there by the third eye, or what you consider to be your third eye.
Yes.
Underneath the third eye is called the olfactory bulb.
Facts.
The olfactory bulb, it ignites when you freaking breathe through your nose.
Yes.
And that's why you remember shit when you start smelling a certain.
Yes.
You start smelling.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But in your meditation, you breathe in through your nose and then ignite something right here at your third eye, which is right underneath your third eye, which is called the olfactory bulb. And it lights up like a light bulb when you breathe in your meditation. You know what I'm saying? But everything exists is dense. The reason why I say you got to imagine it, because once you create that ball of light, guess what? It got to find its place somewhere.
Wow.
It got to land somewhere, and it starts to like unfold, like start to unfold into something, and that it unfolding represents manifestation.
Facts.
So not only you got to speak it into existence.
Oh yeah.
My fault. Yeah. Let me tell him I'm live. Yeah. Tell my brother I'm live. So this is why I'm saying in the realm, I'm gonna bring all of this back. Remember, I started this conversation off with the fact I was talking about Ta. I said Ta roast. And I was talking about, dang man. My fault, y'all. My thing is still vibrating. Um, yes, I'm live, bro. My brother was calling me, y'all. My fault. Um, yeah, like that's why I was talking about Taurus in the beginning. I'm bringing all this back to the first subject that I was talking about. Like the Taurus. He said, "What's up, Jamar?" Taurus being the mind, right? I said Ta and Rose. Ta is the expression of what's in your mind. Because remember, Ta wears the kufi in ancient Egypt, but it simply represents the mind. All right. But the expression of what's in the mind. But what I'm saying is that once you focus and imagine it in your mind, you actually create a light bulb. A light bulb. It's like a light, like what do you call those photons?
Photosynthesis?
No, photons when it's light.
Oh, the photons, like the little
light
specks.
Yeah, the lights they call photons. You actually create a photon of sort, and it's in your mind, but it must land somewhere, and it will unfold because all light came from some sort of mass, and everything is like energy is converted from something. Like for instance, in order for us to move right now, we ate some shit.
You need energy.
So we convert, we dissolve in something to gain energy, to create, to be something, to go forward. Think about it if you reverse engineer it though. Now we're doing a reverse engineer because you coming from your mind. You putting it in your mind. The universe doesn't work how you think. The universe works from your subliminal mind. Not some shit that you force. Remember, you know how the elders say, don't force it. If you try to force it, it ain't right.
Right.
You try to force it. You gotta let it flow natural. So the universe is saying the same thing. You know, the way you float on the water is by just relaxing and just letting the universe take you where you gotta go. But you put it in your mind as well because the universe needs a shell in order for the water to take shape. Didn't I say Anu? Anu. Yes. When I related to Anu being the most high, I don't know if you caught that, Akshita. I was saying that the name of the Most High, and I'll give y'all many names because I always say the name is oneness, but one of the names of the Most High, not in Arthawalu, all right. Now it's many other cultures is Anu, Anu, it's Anu. Now when we talk about Anu, we talk about the waters. These aren't chaotic waters of what you think because noon, the waters of noon were the waters of chaos, but the waters of Nu are not the waters of chaos. They're the waters of celestial thought and how these patterns move throughout the cosmos. All right. That's why they sit on high and they move like water, like the waves of water, and you flow through it like water, and it can take the shape of any vessel.
Any vessel.
So I knew. All right, and that's relative to the Egyptian nature called Nun, and also the Sumerian deity called Anu. But I also relate this to Anu. Is if y'all need to catch up on this, Anu is not Atum. It's not Anu. Anun is another is the Most High Son. Now y'all used to Atum Ra, excuse me, which is Atum Ra, and y'all used to, which is the first, the undifferentiated one, which is the first son, which is the undifferentiated one, okay, which is Atum Ra, and then you got Atun, um, Atun Ra, Atun Ra. Now, when I say Ra, I'm saying the sun, but also when I say Ra, I'm saying this too, the soul.
Yes.
Because remember, when we in Tawalu, when we say Ra, Ra, it is Ra actually represents the two. Remember, because you got root or rate at the letter R, which is 18, the two nines. So that's Ra. When we say Ra, we talking about literally, we're talking about like a being of sort or a soul, but it's a son. How should I say? Okay, it's many ways that you can kind of interpret it. Okay, but then you got Atun Ra, right? Atun, which is the Most High, and then you got Amun Ra, Amun Ra, or Ray, however y'all want to say it. I don't.
Some say Ra, some say Ray.
However you want to say it, it doesn't matter to me. But you got Amun Ra, which represents the going down of the sun. That's why a lot of people end their prayers with Amun, Amen, and Amin.
Yes.
All right. Now we could end our prayers with Atun, excuse me, Atum, Atun, and Amun. We could end our prayers with that. All right. But when we say Amun, Amen, and Amin, we talking about that which is hidden to come out. That's what we're saying. And we're giving all the names of Amun, Amun. We're not telling it to remain hidden. We're telling it to come out. That which is hidden, Amun, Amun, Amin, and Amen. Because that same force moved throughout those three lights, or you consider to be religions. You know what I'm saying? So then you got the Most High, who's not pronounced in the prayer, or not pronounced at the end of the prayer, but we will start saying that at the end of our prayers. We'll say Noon.
Anun.
Yes, Anun that would be the Most High Son.
Wow.
Okay.
The Most High Son is not contrary to opinion. You know how like Anka Antin, he brought in the worship of the Most High,
Right.
or he brought in monotheism into ancient Egypt when they was more or less into polytheism.
Right.
And they had many gods of
Right.
sort.
Yes. Of course.
And
yeah,
then
no
he
sense.
destroyed all of them and
Right.
brought in the worship one worship of Atun, which was the Most High. But what I'm saying is that is not the Most High.
That's the Most High Son.
That's not the Most High Son. The Most High Son so happens to be Anun.
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 Okay.
And why do I say Anun? It's the Most High Sun that you don't see.
Because it's the one the
You
one
don't
that's
see the Most
hidden.
High, right?
Yeah, right.
You don't
It's the hidden
like we
one.
can't see the Most High.
Right.
You're like, damn, thinking. So we can't see the Most High Sun
Facts.
because the
That makes
Most High
sense.
Sun, you got 4 suns.
Mm-hmm.
People only count 3 suns. You count the morning sun, you count the high sun, and you count the setting of the sun.
Right.
But you don't count the Most High Sun
Mhm.
when it's at its darkest period.
Okay.
When it's
Right.
at its darkest period, at this point right here,
At
when
the
you say,
bottom.
at the
I know. At
bottom.
the bottom.
Yeah.
That's why one of the reasons why I say, yo, you at your lowest point, you at your highest point
Yeah.
as well. Because you're not like, let's say when you going down and praying, that's why you one of the reasons why you go down and pray. It's not to just give reference to the earth and the waters beneath you. It's to give reference to the Most High. Because you think the Most High is above you, the Most High is beneath you. It's what lifts you. It's what gives you stability to walk, to move about on the planet. That's what the Most High is to you. It's not some unforeseeable force that's unreachable in that sense, because you really literally walk on top of it.
Wow.
You walk, it keeps you afloat.
Wow.
So when you go down, you actually tapping in or looking at the Most High. You're looking in a direction where the Most High is. But it's no direction of where the Most High isn't. Because I'm going to say this too, because the word is wajid. When they use the direction of the Most High, I'm gonna pull the Quran verse out for you. When they say, yo, man, let me see if I can find that real quick before we get off. It is no direction that you pray that Allah isn't. It's like a Quran verse.
Right, it is.
It's Allah is not. Excuse me. I'm gonna find the verse for y'all.
Okay.
Is not. And then the word direction, I think it's in Bakara, the cow. Let me see. I'm gonna see. It's gonna mess it up. This is crazy.
Right. And for Allah, the east and the west, so wherever you turn, there is the face of Allah. Indeed, Allah is
the
all
face of Allah. Watch this. Watch me gonna freak it up. Watch how we mess it up right here. So I'm gonna put the Arabic in there. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Let me see. Ooh.
Did you catch it?
No. Freak.
There
Here it is. I'm gonna put the Arabic in the comment section. Oh, they gotta keep on messing me up. They don't want. Let me see. Nah, because it keeps on.
I know. I just want you to copy it.
Watch this Arabic word that I'm gonna throw in here, and it's the same word that they use for face, right? Watch this. It's gonna blow your mind. My fault, y'all. Watch this stuff. When they talk about seek the face of Allah, they said this is where the face of Allah is, right? And I'm gonna use the English translation. I'm gonna use the Arabic translation, and then you're gonna be like, "Whoa, this is deep. This is deep. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something." Look, watch this.
Wow.
So, in the Arabic, when you see the word right there, it says "wahali." This means like wherever,
Okay.
All right, cause wa le ali. But I'm bringing you to the word where it says wajuhu. Wajhu. You see that word wajhu? It means like his face. Because waj means like face. But when you say wajhu, you're saying like his face, like the Allah's face. Right? Peep game on it. What you say is true. Why? Because the Most High exists at the bottom of the universal construct. Okay, of Vishnu. I gotta learn how to say that word. Of Vishnu, for he rests at the. Come on, let's go. Let's get him. Let's get him. Boom.
Boom.
Got him. Boom.
Boom.
Told you. I told you. And this is the Walu. What I'm sharing with you is the Walu spirituality. I'm relating it to ancient Egyptian spirituality because a lot of our people relate to that. They connect with ancient Egypt, especially people that are conscious. A lot of people relate to the Bible. So I gotta just bring you different things that we connect with in the same way. You know what I'm saying? But going back to what I said, bro, listen, when they use that word wajuhu, they're talking about the face of Allah. They said, and for Allah is the east and the west. This is the niggas that be thinking you gotta pray to the east.
So
who told y'all niggas y'all gotta pray to the east and be worshiping the Kaaba?
There is the face of Allah.
It's the face of Allah. It's his face
of Allah.
Yes.
He's all encompassing.
Yes, definitely. Wherever you turn, it's the face.
Yes.
But this same word, wajuhu, look at this. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. When you go look it up, watch this. In ancient Egypt, wajet. Right? It's the same damn word. It's the same word. So the wajet, check this out. I don't want to use Wikipedia. I don't want to use that. My fault. I'm gonna just use pictures of a wajet so y'all can see. So we don't have to play no games here. All right. But the wajet is symbolic of the third eye.
Wow, look at the face.
My fault. Here we go, y'all. The wajet. I got it. I got my fault. The wajet is symbolic of the third eye, yo. That's why they said it. Why you think they said it? All right, here it is. Yo, the third eye. What do you think that snake is right there, yo? What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, wajet. That's an actual Natert. It's a goddess. You know, I told you wisdom is always symbolic of a woman, but the wajet is the eye. Let me see if I can show the wajet. See, there it is, the wajet. See, y'all see it. The wajet is not only it represented a woman. You know what I'm saying? All right, but what you see is, which is as you see, I want to say this. My fault. It represents a snake with wings. A snake with wings. Also symbolic of the third eye. The third eye is symbolic of a snake with wings.
Wow.
As well. You want to think about the third eye as well. Like a snake with wings. All right. But again, wajet, when they talk about the wajhu of Allah, they're talking about the wajet of Allah. The wajet or the waju is actually the eye of Allah. Any direction, that's where Allah is. Any direction that you go, that's where Allah is. That's where the eye of Allah. But that's the third eye. That's how you can tap into.
Wajet.
Yes.
Yeah, wajet.
It deals with the eye.
Yeah.
But the wajet is how you see. Like, once you get to a certain consciousness, you are in the realm of wajet. You're in the realm of wajet. I mean, for lack of better words, because I'm using Egyptian, I'm gonna say Kemet terminologies, and I really don't gravitate towards that. I gravitate towards my turtle people. All right, but I do share commonalities with ancient Egypt. Okay, I do share commonalities with ancient Egypt or ancient Kemet. All right. Or we share commonalities as a people.
Yes.
We're one and the same. The reason why is because, remember, the turtle traveled from Mother Africa to Mother Utla, or y'all call it Atlantis. This is all Utla right here.
It's the same thing.
This is all home away from home, which is called Atlantis.
Yes.
America.
Right.
But it went back and forth and traveled the leatherback. and through the migration. I can
Wow.
show you that. Though, do I have to slay them with that? Please let me slay them with that. Probably, please let me slay them. But when you see the turtle, thank you. Migration of the
You need
leatherback.
your charger too. It's gonna die.
Okay. Migration. Let me see. Migration of the leatherback. I'm gonna show y'all something. It's scary. Blow y'all freaking mind. Y'all think I'm playing a game.
Look at that.
I told you.
Look
So
at that.
Fire.
in ancient times, we used to communicate with the turtle,
Mm-hmm.
and as you see, it was going back and forth from Mother Africa to Mother Utla. Now y'all can call Mother Africa whatever you want to call it, because I know y'all don't gravitate to Leo Aphrodite. But what I'm saying is that look at that. The migration of the turtle, yo, the leatherback.
Mm-hmm.
Now we used to write on the leather's back, the leather's back. We used to write on the back of the turtle. We used to send messages to our families
Wow.
through the ages. Right here, as you see, look at this. Look at this picture. These are all the migrations of the leatherback.
Wow.
You're playing games with me. You're playing games with me. This is one of the reasons why this is represent a symbol of our people. Because I'm gonna take you to somewhere. Thank you for the bombs on that one. Booyah. If you look at where is the leatherback, you see all on the coast of Africa, all on the coast of America, all on the coast of South America is the leatherback, the migration pattern of the leatherback. All right. It was something significant about this dinosaur that we knew that was significant to our people, that it represented an ancient one, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But what was so deep about this, the leatherback, I wanted to show y'all something else. I wanted to show y'all, man. It's crazy. You look at it is what do you call it? The current, like it's a current that flows from Africa to America. It's a current. Our ancestors used to follow the turtle because the turtle followed the current.
Mm.
The turtle knew the currents of the ocean. It knew these ancient currents. We used to let the turtle lead us the way. I'm dead serious. They would have a leatherback on the front or the helm of their boats in order to guide them. That was the secret in order to move from Africa to Atlantis. That was the key. You said, how did they get from how did they chart? Yeah, they used the skies, the stars to chart where they was going, but in actuality they utilized nature as well.
The Bangula current.
The
The
Bangula
Bangula current.
Bangula
Mm-hmm.
current.
Mm-hmm.
That's the current that comes from Africa to America.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Queen. The Bangula current.
Most gratitude, King.
Yeah. Wow, that's super. What else I want to say? You showed off. Yeah. You said the turtle you speak of is Sri Korma G, one of the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who churns the milk ocean, which provides many of its necessities and or material spiritual goods for humanity. Thank you, bro. That's deep. I like how we relate to other spiritualities.
Yes.
I'm not here to knock any spirituality. I'm here to see how we relate to one another. Let me keep it real.
Yeah.
One of the many things I do my best is to see how we relate to one another and how we connect. All right. What else I want to say before I get off? I went over a little bit of information, and I was talking about a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff. I basically went over a couple verses of this book called the 141 Introduction to Magic and Divination. And wow, it's so much more to offer.
So much more.
we just got into a 2-hour discussion, and that was only 7 verses.
Wow.
Wow.
So much more.
Just elaborating on 7 verses.
If you don't have this book, you need to get this book.
Yeah.
Seriously. If you do not have this 141, you need to get this book.
Thank you, Queen. That's the beginner's manual. Here we go, the 141
Yes.
right here. And then we got the Book of Wraith. I got other books too that I really want y'all to check out. But this 141 is for everybody to really start out with, to get a good grip on the knowledge and information of the Codex. All right, so
it's a book that you can continue to come to, though. You can always come to and learn something new, something different from this book.
And thank you, Sister
Thank you,
Ramona.
Ramona.
Thank you, Ramona.
I didn't hear this formally from you. Thank you for the love on that one.
Thank you, Queen.
Thank you, Queen.
Thank you. We definitely kept it 100 on that one. You said you guys are vibing. Yeah, we definitely stay on this vibe, bro. This is a good vibe. This is not just on the screen. This is off the screen. This is on the screen. This is us together. You know, and this is good energy. It's going to be nothing but good energy on here.
Facts.
All right.
Facts.
And they got my back, my front, and my sides.
That's right.
So where can you go wrong with that, bro?
Whole 361.
Okay.
You know, and I'm at peace. I'm at peace because they're at peace. That's one of the reasons why I'm at peace, yo. Besides what they provide for me in my life, because I care about both of them, and for to have them go against each other destroys me. It, you know, and I have walked that path of destruction for at one point in time in my life, but I don't have that. I have a good energy, and you know, everybody is in harmony with one another. Everybody's in harmony. You know, we pray together, we eat together, we study together, we cry together. You know what I'm saying? We going through the struggle together. We problem solve together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're hopefully we can show other people how to function.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How if you have, you know, whatever relationship you're in, you know, that you can function, you know how to function. All right, and make it peaceful as well as successful. All right. Is there anything y'all want to say before I get off?
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
We love you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support.
Thanks for joining
Thank you
us
for
tonight.
tapping in.
Yes,
thank you for helping.
Get the book.
Get the book.
Okay, the one
definitely got to get the book.
Get the book.
Hit us up for the book.
Yeah.
Hit the Messiah Code email. I'm gonna put it up.
I'll send you a PDF version if you don't got the book already. And also if you need a study session on the book, I think what we should do is set up some time for that.
Definitely.
We're gonna get that started and post it in our group.
Yeah, we'll set up a little study session to break down the books. And yeah. What else? You got something, Queen?
What you smiling about? Look at
I'm
I think I said it. I think I said
I got two beautiful women.
Said it. Look, he like here.
I'm in between two beautiful women. I'm feeling good. What do you mean?
Okay.
I ain't nothing but shit. Hey, I should be smiling all the time. We
definitely have a good one.
Yes.
Thank you.
Definitely.
So, thank you, Brother Corey. Thank you, Sister Ramona. Everybody watching across the world, across the universe. You know, hopefully we can give y'all an example to do good by each other. Love each other.
Never forget the love.
The greatest magic of them all.
It's the greatest magic. Greatest magic. All right. So, Kum, salutations to the primes. 747 24/7.
361 degrees.
Don't quote me on that.
We out, fam.
Don't quote me on that. Y'all funny. I think we glitching in the matrix right now. I think we really glitching. It's some static going on. It's some static going on in the matrix. There's some sort of static going on. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
So we better get out of here before the Agent Smiths come.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here for the Agent Smiths come.
Okay.
Because we had to come in the matrix real quick. I love y'all.
Yes.
747 24/7 361. Cool.
The Messiah code.
Yeah.
The Messiah code.
Yeah. Yeah. What up? Yeah. Yeah. The 131. I am Messiah. The mother and the son. I am Messiah. The kingdom will come. I am Messiah. They waiting on the one. I am Messiah. I was on the riverbank, talking to the seas by the wayside. I'm talking about the internet, but the store's still on the waistline. I'm a fisherman, but I made Fisher a man. Yeah, ran to a Judas. Nigga act like he a friend. Walking on water, while your people down like Peter. You blowing on the trump. I flipped the coin, gave it to Caesar. Supplicate disciples, I never knew Luke or Mark. I was on a cloud, landing on Noah's Ark. The 131. I am Messiah. The mother and the son. I am Messiah. The kingdom will come. I am Messiah. They're waiting on the one. I am Messiah.